Hello from Yosemite National Park. Today, tomorrow, the next day, gonna be doing all kinds of hikes in here. I've decided to split these out into multiple videos. So this one, we're gonna be doing Half Dome. If you wanna check out Vernal and Nevada Falls and Clouds Rest, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll have all those videos on the channel as well. In addition to Upper Lower Yosemite Falls, 4 Mile Trail, basically all the bangers, they're gonna be here. So as you can tell by my large bag, I'm backpacking, which is not something I love to do. I'd much prefer to trail run, but because of the logistics of Yosemite, it was the best way that I could do Half Dome and not have to worry about so many freaking permits. I'll have the full guide on this hike and I'll have a separate video about backpacking tips here, but just parked at the wilderness lot and about to hop on the Muir Trail just outside of Curry Village. To peel back the fourth wall a little bit, my legs are pretty cooked because I hiked / ran Upper Yosemite Falls this morning, did Yosemite Point. I'll have a separate video on that. It was freaking awesome. It's about 3 in the afternoon and I'll be hiking into where I'll be making camp to do the climb up to Half Dome eventually. So basically your approach up to Half Dome has 2 different ways. I'm taking the Mist Trail because, like I said, I want to do Vernal and Nevada Falls. Hordes of people going the opposite ways as me right now, which is kind of nice. Obviously this hike is extremely popular. Bathrooms just right down there, and drinking water just like a mile in. If you're going to Half Dome, Mist Trail is the most direct way, but there is a crazy amount of climbing to get up the waterfall, which I'll obviously show you in a second here. Those Vernal Falls I kept showing you, good God, this is a very steep climb. Once you leave the top of Vernal Falls here, you're gonna keep working towards Emerald Pool. There are another set of bathrooms. Next up, Nevada Falls. It's like 5 p.m. Plenty of daylight left. Final climb out of Nevada. Final bathroom for a while to keep going to Clouds Rest and Half Dome straight. I mentioned non-plumbing bathrooms in my guide. This is an example of one. This is a really nice one, to be honest, but basically no running water is the gist of it. From this trail junction, about 4.5 miles to Half Dome. Quick stat update, just under 4 miles, just over 2,200 feet of vert. Next trail junction here, we're going left towards Half Dome and Clouds Rest. The biggest update to share about Little Yosemite Valley is it is basically flat, which after all that climbing, your legs are very happy about that. It is so lovely up here right now. Very quiet, very cool, in the shade. I feel like I've been in the sun all day between the 2 hikes I've done. Should be around the area I can camp in about a mile. After passing the ranger station is where you can start to camp if you have a past Yosemite Valley backpacking permit. Like I said, I'll make a separate video talking about backpacking, so this is really just going to focus on the hikes themselves. Man, I was feeling so good about humanity. I had almost made an entire day in one of the country's most busy national parks on really popular trails without Bluetooth speaker guy. I just heard one. So close. Pretty key junction here. Half Dome to the left, Clouds Rest to the right. Eight o'clock on the dot. Found a nice little campsite, not too far from water, not too far from the trail. Gonna set up camp. I'm pretty wiped after today, but we'll see you guys in the morning to go do Half Dome.
Rough night of sleep last night. Sent it too hard and did not have enough salt, especially in fluids yesterday, so I was cramping for a while. And also probably should have brought some more layers to sleep in. Excited because today I'm gonna finally be doing Half Dome.
Starting my way up the Half Dome trail. It's about 2 miles from that split to the top. And the Ranger typically sits, from what I understand, literally at the base of the climb. Some stats about Half Dome as we're working up to it. Generally, the cables go up from the Friday before Memorial Day through about the beginning of October. Those dates change every year. You do not need permits to climb Half Dome when the cables are down. However, it's a much more serious day. Definitely know what you're doing if you do that. About an 800-foot climb, I believe. I'll tell you, from the base up to the summit. Summit block is huge. There's tons to explore up there, so hopefully we'll be able to do that today. I want to measure, if I can safely, the slope angle as well, because I'm been curious about that. People that say it's like 90 degrees, that's like impossible. That's a sheer cliff. I'm guessing somewhere in the high 40s, low 50s. Obviously, if you have a permit, you don't have a lot to say. You absolutely want good weather for this. Granite with rain turns to basically ice. An ideal weather day is what you want. Speaking of permits, there are generally 3 ways to get one. Pre-season lottery, where you're basically randomly assigned a day. A backpacking permit, which are hard to get, but not as hard as Half Dome. And then you can choose the date. The backpacking permit is good for any days. So you could, in theory, go climb Half Dome Wednesday and then go back Thursday, according to my park ranger. And number 3, the daily lotteries. So I've struck out on the regular lottery like 3 or 4 years in a row and was able to get a backpacking permit, and then even was able to get a daily lottery on top of that. So I didn't go yesterday, but I had one for yesterday. So I'd say if you're flexible, especially if you're local, the daily lotteries are the way to go. I really don't want this video to turn into a logistics vid, so I'll have all the information on this in the full guide, which is linked in the video description. Clouds Rest behind me. Starting the climb up Subdome. Apparently this part is about a half hour, and the cable's about a half hour, according to the sign. It's funny, I was looking at this from far away and was like, how the hell do you get up this? And it's man-made. That's how. I have a feeling I might have this entire thing to myself, which is pretty crazy. Man, Subdome is sick in its own right. Totally tight. People climbing to scale here. Here is the close-up shot. I'll give you some non-GoPro angles. You can see 4 people coming down. So the steepest part is kind of where they all are, and then it eases up towards the top. Okay, here's the starting angle. About to start the climb here. As always, I'll try to get as much footage as I can, but safety is numero uno. Here's a look up. About just starting right now, really. So in terms of placement of the wood, it's like every, I don't know, 6 or 7 feet. Probably about, I don't know, a little over a quarter way up. All right. I can say that doing this with the cables down is a serious undertaking. This is a lot steeper than I thought. I'm not going to measure here because I just don't want to lose my phone, but yeah, it is. Here's a side view so you can kind of see how steep it is at almost the crux here.
All right.
You good?
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
we're done.
Sick. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. Imagine the top's kind of close. Step-ups here are not ideal. Almost at the top. There's a look down. To be honest, I'm really not looking forward to coming down this thing. Like, this is no exaggeration. That's what you're looking at when you're going up. It is steep, bro. Almost there. Almost at the top now. I would highly recommend at least some kind of a via ferrata system for this. People do it with no harnesses. I think that's really risky. It is steep. It is very intimidating if you have a fear of heights or falling. So just keep all that in mind. Doing this cables down is insane. I'm very happy that my trip lined up so that I could do this with cables up. All right, up to top of Half Dome. That was pretty cool. Also a little scary. Top of Half Dome here. I have the whole thing to myself, which is awesome and slightly terrifying. I know I talked a little bit of climbing up, like that was definitely a pretty tough experience, like super exposed at times. The cables are a little rickety, there's some step ups, so it is definitely not like an easy, hard thing to do. Like this is a pretty serious commitment, and I can see why people get in trouble up here. It's about 6 p.m. I'm gonna hang out for a tiny bit, but I also just want to kind of get down and I'll feel a lot better about things. I have a pretty significant fear of falling, which is not really ideal for going down. So unfortunately, this is not going to be an area I hang out on top a lot, but I am going to try to soak it in a little bit and enjoy the views from up here. Don't like that. So a couple things. I would say like these sections where like there's like the broken rock, that is the most challenging because there's no stairs here. As I said before, if this thing is slick, like just turn around. Don't even bother. Gloves. So luckily some woman gave me hers, aka I asked for them before I started because I forgot mine. But I would say gloves are definitely a good thing to have. Another look at the exposure here. The cables are a little slippery, and the grip the gloves provide just helps you like feel a little bit more comfortable, at least for me. Try going down first. I do not like this at all. I feel much better, almost down. In terms of going down, people like scrambling like to look either down or at the mountain. I, as you might have picked up by my terror of falling, I'm a look at the mountain kind of guy, and it's been really not too bad. The only thing I'll say is this system I'm using right now, I do not recommend if you are not pretty sure, because as you know, when you're clipping this thing off the cable, there's absolutely nothing to catch you if you were to slip. If I were to do this again, I'd probably have like the Via Ferrata system. Obviously, if you're going cables down, you need a whole different set. I would say a harness is a good thing to have, because worst case, you climb and don't need it. Okay, great. But if you start getting the Sunday scaries up here and you're just completely freeballing, that could be a bad time. This is what I'm talking about. Like right now, if I fall, I'm fucked. All right, that's Half Dome. Holy shit, that was scary. With the cables behind me here, that is a wrap on Half Dome. I am so hungry. Speaking of that, thanks to Foundation Outdoors, if you want to save 20% off ready to eat meals with high macros, Utah-based company, you can check the description of the video. Now that I am down and a little bit more clarity in my mind, if you're going to do Half Dome without gear, that's totally up to you. It's basically a Via Ferrata. You can do a Via Ferrata without gear if you're not afraid of heights, if you're not afraid of fall, if you're not afraid of drops. Go for it. Just be safe, obviously. If you have any inkling that that might be you, 100% have gear. It'll make it a little bit slower, it'll make it a little bit more clunky, but it'll give you that peace of mind that if something happens, you're good. Half Dome has been on my bucket list for a really long time, and it's pretty disappointing to get up there and have like a mental panic attack and not be able to enjoy the top as much as I did. So I've been sitting down here at Subdome for a while. The views, I will say, up top are okay. The drops are crazy, the view into the valley is great, but you can get better views. And you should check out my Clouds Rest video if that's something you're interested in. After all that permit talk, there was zero ranger here. I'm not saying don't have a permit. I'm not saying there won't be a ranger. I'm just giving you my experience. Nobody checked my permit. I have it. I was ready to present it. They said I have an ID. I'm digging through my photos to find one. Maybe it's luck, maybe it's just circumstances, who knows. If you're into hiking, if you're into adrenaline experience, etc., that is a hike you should be adding to your list. All right, one more thing, because you watched this far. I had the top to myself. There was nobody on the cables when I was going up. That's crazy. I will say, if you're looking for an experience like that, sunset is the way to go. There's people on there now, but they're their own group. I had 2 people come up while I was coming down. But in general, if you're looking to avoid the crowds on Half Dome, that is the way to go. Obviously, make sure the weather's good too. That's enough ranting. I'm gonna go back to camp now. If you're new to my channel, I'm based in Colorado. I have tons and tons and tons of videos, including a lot here from Yosemite that I just did on this trip and others. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow along not to miss any future hike related content. If you found this video at all helpful, real, I don't know, throw it a like. Just throw the video a like. It helps more people see it. I can go to more places, show you guys things, and give you the real experience. The final thing I'll say before wrapping up this video is that I have a history with accidents in the mountain, and so falling in particular is something that is really tough for me. I fully acknowledge that my experience is going to be unique to me, and you might come and do this and be like, that was so chill, whatever. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure. I am the #1 advocate for do things that scare you a little bit. Today was scary for me. It was in control though, and I feel like if you live life in a bubble and don't do things that scare you, are you really experiencing life? I'm not sure. Okay, the end. Bye.